Hello everyone, today we are going to be reviewing Pixar's newest movie Hoppers, that just came out yesterday. Now let's review this movie and see if it's as good as Pixar's older movies. Before reviewing this film, I just want to say that this decade was not too good for Pixar so far. I mean, there wasn't a single movie that made me absolutely cry or hit very hard. I remember at one point Pixar mad hit after hit after hit. Now they focus more on sequels, and the original they do aren't that good, for example Elio. But when I saw the trailers for Hoppers, I was genuinely surprised with how promising it looked to me. I just loved how insane it looked, like it felt nothing like Pixar, and that's what I liked about the trailer. It showed that Pixar was still experimenting. The trailer itself was pretty hilarious and had some really good jokes. It seemed way more interesting and experimental than the boring and safe Elio. I also realized that this movie was made by the same person who made We Bare Bears, which is one of the most casual, relaxing, and well-written cartoon I've seen, so I had high hopes for this one, so I sat down and watched, and having watched Hoppers, yeah, this one is absolutely crazy but in the best way possible. Now here is the plot synopsis. In the city of Beaverton, a girl named Mabel Tanaka has grown up to a strong love for nature thanks to her grandma, showing her a local forest glade. Now as a college student, Mabel is determined to fight against the city building a freeway, which is being championed by the city mayor Jerry. After her protest fails, Mabel tries to enlist her college science professor to join her cause, but that also doesn't work. Mabel continues to fight and accidentally discovers that her professor discovered a new science program they call Hoppers, in which they are able to transfer their minds into robot animals. Mabel, hoping to get the animals to join the fight, hops her mind into a robot beaver and soon ends up in the forest where she understands the animals, but not realizing they have certain structuring in which they call pond rules. Mabel then gets the animals to join her fight to save the glade, only to get into a bigger mess. Now starting off with the positives, I just got to say this movie feels super different from the usual Pixar movie, but in a good way. The humor is completely different from any Pixar movie. A lot of the jokes are sometimes really dark, but I found the dark aspects of the movie really funny. In fact, I would say this is the funniest Pixar movie I've ever seen. That's how hilariously dark the movie gets. There is also this mayor character in this movie that wants to build a highway, but I like how the movie didn't make him a complete villain and evil. They give him good points, saying that the highway would make people get faster to work or their families. You get why he is doing it even if you don't agree. Another thing I really liked with the movie is the villain. I know I just talk about the mayor being the villain, but there is another villain in the movie voiced by Dave Franco, and it was one of the funniest Pixar villains we had in a long time. I was laughing and even kind of shocked with how dark and twisted this villain was. Yeah, the movie gets really dark in the third act. Like the first two acts are all innocent, but by the time you get to the third act, I can see a lot of little kids getting really scared because some of the imagery is wild. I mean, in one scene someone's whole face got pulled off. I do love that Pixar got different with the tone and actually experimented with the movie. I do also like how the movie kind of came full circle. In the movie, the main character Mabel basically wants to build a dam, and the thing she had to do at the end of the movie from all that build-up was really nice to see. The animation here is also of course great. Yeah, the movie looks gorgeous, but it still keeps that same We Bare Bears charm. The characters have really good fur textures and can be very expressive. One little touch I love is how we see the animals through the hoppers versus through the humans. In the animals' point of view they have simple big eyes, but in a human's point of view we see them with dotted eyes. I just thought it was a nice little touch. I also love the look of the forest. It's a very peaceful environment, and balances the cartoon nature of the characters without looking too far, which was a massive problem with The Good Dinosaur. All of the characters are also great. Mabel is a great protagonist. I like how even though what she is fighting for is right, how she is approaching it is wrong, and even is very loud, exciting, but also angry sometimes. Which shows she isn't perfect, but yes, she has a lovable personality. King George and the rest are all great and fun, likable and enjoyable character, including the villains, which I already talked about. Yes, this movie is great but still has some flaws that hold it back from a 10 out of 10. One flaw I had is with Mabel and her grandma. One of the main reasons to why she is trying to protest is because of her grandma, who always took her to the same forest. I just thought there wasn't enough that was done with this and the grandma, and to me it just didn't really get me too emotional or feel that much. Another problem I had with the film is the fact that there is a second act breakup in the movie, which are one of the most annoying tropes in animation history, so yeah, I didn't like that too much in the movie in my opinion. But yeah, in general this movie was way better than I could ever expect, and probably is one of Pixar's best films of this decade. The animation was wonderful, the characters were all fun and likable, the movie in general is really funny and has the most crazy fun third act I've seen in a Pixar movie. The movie does have some negatives, like not having a strong enough emotional hook in my opinion, and having a second act breakup, but besides from that this movie is a blast, and I will give Pixar's Hoppers a 8.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed this one and I hope Pixar keeps experimenting with their movies. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments below and don't take my opinions too seriously. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want more animated movie reviews, and I'll see you next time.